All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the orientation to the Leadership and Management in Health course. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. Our goal of conducting this webinar prior to the start of the course is to help you have a smooth start, orient you to the course structure, learning activities, and expectations. I would like to call your attention to the right side of the screen where you should see what we call a chat pod. If you have technical support questions, please post them here, and Chris, our wonderful tech support specialist, will respond. There is also a question and answer pod where you can access that by clicking the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And please use that pod to ask questions about the course. Dewa, Missy, and myself, we will all answer your questions. Using this Q&A button, chat pod, does make it easier for us to answer your questions because there's a threading feature, and it just makes it easier for us to make sure we answer all your questions. So with that, let's meet the team. Here on your screen is the team that is putting on the Leadership and Management course. Your lead course instructor is Dr. Britt Yamamoto, along with co-instructor Dr. Ann Downer. And you will also hear from a variety of guest speakers throughout the course. Our student support specialist is Dewa, and you will hear from her throughout the course. I am Liz, and I am our e-learning developer who helped to create this course. We also have Missy, Meg, and Linda, who are your course administrators, and you may have already heard from them. And then finally, we have Chris, and he is our digital media and e-learning support specialist, and will be providing technical support in this course, as well as today's webinar. And as you know, this course is offered by the University of Washington Department of Global Health e-learning program. We're based in Seattle, where the gold star is, and the purple countries on this map are where you all are, and where all the students are based in this course. So the goal of this course is to improve the delivery of quality health services by strengthening the leadership and management skills of program participants. You will also learn how to approach management challenges in health settings with organizational management as a guide. You'll be able to pose meaningful questions about what constitutes effective leadership and management in different settings. Use core principles and tools from human resource and financial management to address challenges and solve problems. You'll be able to translate insights from self-assessment into personal plans for improving skills. Identify and consult appropriate sources for data for making sound management decisions. You'll be able to align and motivate individuals, systems, and resources towards a common purpose. Design and manage systems that are responsive to national and international requirements, and demonstrate accountability to stakeholders. You will also be able to identify monitoring and evaluation methods that answer key questions about programmatic efficiency and effectiveness. And last, we feel most importantly, you will also learn how to refine and inform a professional value system by taking many assessments. This course offers many practical tools and resources for you to be able to take them with you and implement them into your work. On your screen now is a list of courses for this list of modules for this course. These modules align with the course objectives that we just reviewed on the previous screen. As you can see, there are a total of 11 weeks, 10 weeks of content, in addition to an introductory module that will help you acclimate to the learning environment. as well as a final course wrap-up module. This course will begin on September 19th, and during this first week, you'll be asked to complete Module 0 and 1. Module 0 will introduce you to the online learning environment and help prepare you for the entire 10 weeks of learning. Please note that Module 0 includes a course policy quiz. This quiz is not graded, but it's required for you to complete in order to access Module 1's course materials. So please do not skip over Module 0. The introductory materials really are meant to help you get acclimated. And each week you will have assignments to complete. We will discuss this more in detail, but please note for now, weeks 3, 7, and 10 are when your individual learning plans or ILPs will be due, and your final presentation will be due during week 11. We will go into this in more detail in just a moment. So we estimate that it will take about 6 to 8 hours each week to watch the video lectures, do any of the required readings, participate in discussion forums, complete assignments, quizzes, and optional activities. Please note that this course is designed in a way that it will allow you to break up those 6 to 8 hours of coursework, however it best fits your schedule. Course materials will become available to you a week before the officially start date. What this means is that it just is an opportunity for you to plan in advance. So download the course materials, maybe get a head start, or be ready for the materials when your schedule allows. So take some time to think about your work and home schedules, to carve out designated time to work on your course materials. So now on your screen is the course grading rubric, and you can see that discussion forums are worth about 10% of your final grade, and there are 5, and these are in weeks 2, 4, 6, 8, and 11. So mostly the even weeks, but also the very last week of the course. Your group discussions will be about 25 to 30 people, and this is selected at random and will most likely include people different from your local site group. So this is an opportunity then for you to interact with people from other regions and countries. The weekly quizzes now are worth 30% of your grade, and you have 2 attempts for each quiz. Each quiz includes 10 questions in most cases, and the quizzes will cover content presented in the video lectures and required readings. So please note that there is no final exam. And with that said, there are 2 main assignments. The first is this individual learning plan or ILP, and it is worth 35% of your final grade. And the final presentation, which is worth 25% of your final grade. The ILP is divided into 3 parts. Part 1 is due during week 3, another during week 7, and the final in week 10. The final presentation will be given during week 11 of the course, with a note that we will be opening up the submission starting in week 10. So you will have 2 weeks to finalize and submit your final presentation. And if you are part of a site group, please note that, if you're part of a site group, please present at your site and upload your presentation into the course website. If you are not part of a site, you simply will just upload your final presentation to the course website. And please note that detailed instructions for both the ILP and the final presentation are included in the course website and available to you at the very start and throughout the entirety of the course. So just a note about the individual learning plan. This assignment is a set of questions for you to reflect on from the content presented in the week's module. Each week, you will be prompted to respond to questions in this ILP document. You will download the ILP during week 1 and respond to a selection of questions each week. Again, these ILP questions correlate with the content in each week. The ILP is worth the most points across the entire course, and that is because it is an important exercise in that there is not only integration and content application, but self-reflection from the many assessments included in this course. As I previously mentioned, the ILP is due at 3 points throughout the course. The due dates are listed in the course website, along with reminder prompts and announcements to make sure you don't forget about submitting your ILP. The first 2 times you submit your ILP, it is worth 10 points each. The final ILP submission will be worth 15 points, making the ILP worth 35 points or 35% of your overall grade. So if you wait until the end of the course to submit your ILP, you will still earn points, but we strongly encourage you keep up on the work each week in order to get the most out of this course and the assignment. And to earn a certificate of completion for this online course, you must pass the course with at least a 70% average on the graded activities. And if you are part of a site group, in this course, your site group is required to host a minimum of 4 site meetings. Although many sites host more than 4 meetings, the participant attendance participation requirements is to attend at least 3 out of 4 meetings offered by your site, which can include this orientation that you are currently enrolled in. If your site offers additional meetings, we encourage you to attend as many as possible. As always, please defer to your site coordinator for details about the participation expectations at your site. And if you are not enrolled in this course as part of a site, then the site attendance does not apply to you. And certificates are given to participants who successfully complete the course and meet all requirements. Shipping of the certificate typically takes about 8 weeks after the course ends. Our courses are for professional development and do not currently have academic credit or apply towards a diploma or degree. We encourage you to note your course accomplishments on your CV under professional development and for job applications. We do calculate continuing education units based on the course hours. So for more information about this and our certificates, you can locate this on our website. And so for those enrolled in this course as a site group, the site meetings are a good opportunity to break into smaller groups and give each other feedback on assignments and activities. Alternatively, you could discuss some of the case studies or other activities presented in the modules. Site meetings also allow you to discuss how to apply the course concepts to your local context. Also, particularly if you're taking this course with others from your organization. Also, due to COVID-19, please follow local public health guidelines for meeting in person. We strongly recommend meeting virtually out of an abundance of caution. And shifting gears just a little bit, I want to take a moment to talk about plagiarism, which is a problem we have had in other courses. To support academic integrity, we may be checking assignments to see if you copied anything from other participants or plagiarized from other sources. Plagiarism is taking existing work and not crediting the source, which makes it seem like the work was your original idea. Don't copy and paste from the source or fellow participant. If you do want to quote a source, please cite that source. You're pretty much just robbing yourself of enriching your learning experience when you plagiarize. So when in doubt, please just cite your source. And on your screen now are some examples of plagiarism. When you have a direct quote, you must acknowledge the source. Even when you're paraphrasing or you change just a few words in a sentence or a paragraph, you need to cite your source. So just take a moment here to read through some of these examples. And assignments that reveal any degree of plagiarism may be subject to a 0 score. And to sound like a broken record, when in doubt, cite your source. Okay, so shifting conversation again, we strive our best to resolve your questions as quickly as we can and within 24 to 48 hours. Please remember, for many of you, we are half a world away, and so we may not see your questions for up to maybe 12 hours. Also, we may be slower to respond on the weekends. There are discussion forums that you can use to ask technical support and content questions, and Daywell will show you this in a moment. You can also email edgh@uw.edu, and that is listed on the screen here at the bottom, and we can respond to your questions more quickly if you include the following information in your initial request. Name of the course or course topic, so you might want to say leadership, since we're enrolled in the leadership and management course. The email address you're using to log into the course. A detailed description of the problem. A screenshot, if applicable. And also how to take a screenshot, instructions, if that's something new to you. We do have a little instructional tutorial on that in the introduction module. And if you're experiencing the problem on a mobile device. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Dewa, and she's going to give you a course website tour.
Great, thanks so much, Liz. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Thanks, Dewa.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Can you let me know if you can see it?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Great. All right. Thanks so much, Liz, for that introduction and overview to the course. As Liz introduced, I'm Dewa Greenleaf. I'm the Student Support Specialist for EDGH, and I'm going to be guiding you and answering your questions as you go through the course. So for this orientation webinar today, we are going to do a little bit of an overview of the course website itself, so that once you are added into the course, you know how to navigate the course page and where to find all the tabs and things that you need in order to be successful in the course. So I'm going to start with this purple navigation bar on the very left side of the screen. There, the first tab that you see here is your account, and so this would be any of your account information for Canvas itself. The next tab is the dashboard tab. And this will show you any active courses that you're enrolled in. If you took a course with us a year ago or a few terms ago, that would not show up on your dashboard, but any current courses that you're enrolled in will show up there. The next one is courses, and this is the one that we're in right now, Leadership and Management and Health. There's also a calendar and inbox functions for Canvas, and some people find that to be helpful in terms of being able to see when assignments are due in a calendar format, so you can use that. And then there's also an inbox that you can use to email me here in Canvas. However, I do recommend that you email me at edgh@uw.edu. The inbox in Canvas is not always reliable. Sometimes messages are delayed, and I know that I've had this numerous times where people will send me something as an attachment and the attachment won't come through. So if you need to get a hold of me, the best way to reach me is at edgh@uw.edu. All of the emails that would be for me will come directly to me. So you can just email me there. And as Liz said, it really is important to let us know what course you're enrolled in. We do have 3 courses running this term. And so when you email and say, I need help on this assignment, the more detail you can give, the better it is for me to be able to locate you within the course and be able to help you. So let us know what course you are referring to. And also if you have a question about a specific assignment, what assignment as well. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started with the next set of navigation bar here. The first one is home, which is what we're in. You can see some information on our course instructors, our lead instructor, as well as our co-instructor. And then there's some links below as well as a bit of a welcome message. There is a link to a welcome video from our instructor, Dr. Britt Yamamoto. Our syllabus is linked here. And then there's a link to the announcements, which I'll show you in more detail in a minute. And then a link to our modules page. And modules is where all of the course material resides. So everything you need for the course, including the lectures, the readings, assignments, the activities, can all be found within modules. There's also a link to information on the technical requirements for the course that will be informative for you in terms of what you need in terms of your device on in order to access the course. So going up to the top again, on the very right, there is this to-do list. And this to-do list will give you a snapshot of the assignments that are coming up for you. So you can see there's the first few assignments in the course are listed here. It tells you how many points the assignment is worth and also the due date. And if you hover over the assignment name, it is hyperlinked. So if you click on that, it will take you directly to that assignment. So as you see, as we kind of go through the course, there are multiple ways that you can access the assignments within the course. And I'm going to show you all of those ways just so you know that, there are a lot of different ways you can get to these assignments. And in terms of this to-do list, as you complete these assignments, these should disappear off your to-do list. But it may take like a few minutes for that to update. So just know if you complete this module 1 quiz, for example, and it's still listed on your to-do list, it might just take a little bit to update. Okay, the next tab is the syllabus tab. And this is our course syllabus. We've got information on our course instructors. My contact information here again is edgh@uw.edu. Again, this is our main contact for our course. So if you have any technical issues, you can email us there. Those will go to Chris, and Chris will respond to you. And if you have any course related questions, you can email us there and those will come to me and I will respond to your questions there. There is a downloadable version of the course syllabus under the description of the course. So I would recommend that one of the first things that you do when you are added to the course is that you download the course syllabus and save it as a PDF, and then that way you can refer to it as the course goes on. And then there's also a link to the course policy quiz, which Liz talked about. Again, this is a quiz that doesn't count towards your final grade, so it's worth 0 points, but it is required in order to access the first couple of modules. So you will want to complete that once you're added to the course. We've got the course aims listed out, which Liz went over. There's some further information here, as well as the grading rubric for the course, which I know Liz also touched on. And then I'll talk about late work and grading when we go to grades. But I do want to go to there's some more information here about just some general policies for all of our courses. We've got information on our guest experts. And I did want to show you at the very bottom of this page, there is the schedule, which shows all of the assignments for the course and when they're due. Again, these are also hyperlinked. So if you click on the assignment name, it'll take you directly to that assignment. So this is another nice way to kind of see the assignments that are due, and they're all listed out for you here. So we'll go ahead and go up to the top again. And then to the right, there is this grading rubric listed as well. As Liz went over to the two main assignments for the course, the ILP, the individual learning plan, and the final presentation together make up 60% of your total grade. And then discussions are worth 10%, quizzes are 30% to add up to a total of 100%. Okay, the next tab is the announcements tab. And this is where you will see all of my email communication to you throughout the course. So I will send you 1 to 2 emails a week. The email that will come out at the very start of the week will be kind of an introductory email to the material for that week. So it'll give you an overview of what we'll be covering and what you can expect. And I did open this one for you just so you can see, you can get an idea of what you'll get from me on a weekly basis. So this is kind of just a welcome email and gives you an overview of what we're going to be covering that first week. It gives you information on the assignments, when they're due. The module is linked, the assignments are linked. So any important information are kind of all linked here. This first email is kind of long because there is a lot of information to kind of go over and just to remind you of, but this is what you'll typically see from me at the start of every week. And these will come to your email, whatever email address you use to access the course. But if for any reason, if you accidentally delete an email or if you're not able to find it, you can go into our course and go into announcements, and you can find all those email communications here. All right, the next tab is the modules tab. And when you go into the modules tab, the first thing you see is this introductory module. And there's a lot of different pages on here. Once you're added to the course, you're going to want to go through the course syllabus, and then you're going to want to go through each of these components of the introduction module. Once you have, and this is information that will help you be successful in the course, just important information for you to move forward. And once you have gone through the course syllabus and the introductory module, you will be ready to take the course policy quiz. Again, this course policy quiz is worth 0 points, so your grade on it will probably be listed as 0 out of 0. So it doesn't count towards your final grade, but it is required in order to move on to the first couple of modules. And then you can see all of the modules for the course are listed out here. We've got modules 1 through 11 in this course. And the ones that are, most of them are grayed out because they do open one at a time. They kind of have a rolling open. They open a week before we're scheduled to cover them. So you can work ahead if that works with your schedule. But I will go ahead and go into module 1 just so you can see what that looks like. So this is pretty typical of what our modules look like. There's an introduction to the module. The learning objectives are always listed out. And then you can find the lectures, any assignments, readings. Here's another lecture. Activities are all listed out here. So you can find all the materials that you need for that module here on this page. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the very bottom here. Module 1 only has 1 assignment due, and it is the module 1 quiz. You can see it's linked here. You can see the due date, and then you can use this link to go directly to that quiz. And then at the very bottom, there's usually a list of resources. And these are just optional resources that you can use if you want further information, a little bit more details on the information that we covered for that module. So this is what a module typically looks like. And again, you can find everything you need here on this page. So I know that there's kind of a lot of redundancy in terms of where you can find assignments and things like that. But a lot of people find that if you just start at the very top of the module and just work your way down, that really is the easiest way in terms of getting the assignments completed and all the activities and lectures and readings done. Okay, I'll go ahead and go on to the next tab, which is the assignments tab. I'm going to show them by type. So the first block of assignments are the 2 main assignments for the course, the ILP, the individual learning plan, which is broken up into 3 parts. You're going to contribute, as Liz said, to this assignment each week with each module, and there'll be prompts for you to do that. You'll go through the material for that week, and then you'll go to your ILP and you'll answer questions based on the material that we covered. And it's a lot of reflection, and you'll put your answers into that ILP document. So you'll turn that in at 3 points throughout the course. And though the ILP is worth a total of 35 points, or 35% of your final grade. And then we have the final presentation, which is worth 25 points or 25% of your final grade. So those are the assignments for the course. As you can see, these assignments are worth 60% of your final grade. So in terms of keeping up with coursework, these are definitely assignments that you want to make sure you keep up with and that you don't miss. And then, we have discussions and we have quizzes. Discussions, we have 5 of them. We have them in modules 2, 4, 6, 8, and 11. So mostly the even numbered modules except for discussion 11. And these are worth 2 points each, and they make up a total of 10% of your final grade. And then we have quizzes, which are 3 points each. We do have a quiz in every module. So we don't have one in module 11, but modules 1 through 10, we have a quiz. They're worth 3 points, and then they make up 30% of your final grade. So in terms of, if you miss a discussion or if you miss a quiz, that's okay. It's not going to negatively impact your final grade since they are just worth a few points. As long as you keep up with, most of the course assignments, you should be able to do well in the course. What you really don't want to miss is these larger ILP, parts 1, 2, and also the final, and then the final presentation. Those make up 60% of your final grade. So you really want to make sure you stay on top of those due dates and deadlines and make sure you get those submitted on time. But if you miss a discussion or if you miss a quiz, that's okay. Again, the pass rate for the course is 70%. So you just need to make sure that you have a total of 70% at the end of the course. And so just in terms of, I know that you all are busy professionals and you have your personal lives as well, and schedules get crazy. And so if you do happen to miss an assignment, don't worry too much. Just really try to stay on top of these larger assignments for the course. The next tab is the discussions tab, and you can see the discussions listed out here, but I do want to draw your attention to a few pinned discussions that we have. The first one is the technical support discussion forum. Chris monitors this, and if you have any technical support questions, you can ask them here. We also have a course content forum. If you have any course content related questions, you can post them here. I will monitor that. We also have a lot of people that tend to answer one another's questions in terms of the course content, and it tends to be a nice forum for kind of peer learning. We also have the Classroom Cafe, which is a discussion forum that you can use to socialize with your peers, and it doesn't necessarily have to be related to course content. And then we have the discussions here. You can go to them directly here. You can see the due dates and when they are available. Most of them are closed at this point.
And Dewa,
The next, yeah.
Since you were on there, talking about submission dates, the expectation is that you submit on the due date, but the assignment is open for an extra week, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So the assignments remain open for an extra week, and I'll kind of go over all that when we go through the grades. But yeah,
We had a bunch of questions, so I just thought I would add.
Oh yeah, no, I'm glad you said that. So we, let's go ahead and go to that now since we're talking about it, and then I can go back and show you the quizzes page. So let's see. So the last tab is this grades tab, and this is where you can see your grades for the course. They will be updated as you complete assignments and you get graded. The way that grading works, so for quizzes, they are auto-graded. So you'll see your grade pretty much right away. And then that grade will get posted. As Liz said, you do have 2 attempts for the quizzes, and the higher grade between the 2 will be saved. In terms of Liz, can you hear me okay?
Deva, we lost your screen share. Would you like me to pull it up on my end?
Yeah, let me see if I can do it.
Okay.
And if not, I will see. Can you do that now?
Yes, we can see it again.
Great. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so in terms of the written assignments, in terms of the assignments that you submit, the discussions, the written assignments, those are graded. They're not graded automatically, they're graded manually. So the grades for those are always posted the day after the assignment is due. So for example, the module 2 discussion is due October 2nd. And you can expect to see your grade posted by the end of the day on October 3rd. So they're always posted the Monday after due. Liz, I just wait for just a second. Do you mind answering a question that comes in, and I'll be back in just a minute?
Could I jump in very quickly and just ask that as people are asking questions that they use the Q&A pod? There are a lot of questions coming in the chat, and I'm trying to answer them as they come in, but the Q&A pod is the best place to ask questions. We can answer them quickly there. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Missy. And we did have a question about quizzes come in about the individual passing thresholds. So while we have an overall passing period for, the overall course grades, so you see like 60%, 10%, 30, and we said a 70% to pass the course. We don't have a threshold for each individual quiz. However, do your best. You have 2 attempts for each quiz. So if you did not like the score you received the first time around, you can always resubmit. I shouldn't say resubmit, retake the quiz a second time.
Thanks, Liz. Sorry about that. I had to step away for a moment. Yeah, so going back to these due dates. So like I said, the assignment grades are always posted the day after they're due. We do open modules a week early. So if you would like to work ahead and complete an assignment early, you're welcome to do so. Just note that for these assignments that are manually graded, your grade will still be posted the day after it's due. So you're welcome to complete an assignment early. Just know that your grade won't be posted until after the due date. And so we always say that our assignments are open with the exception of the first week, since this course is just starting. The assignments are open for a 3-week window. So you can complete an assignment the week before we are scheduled to cover that module. You can complete your assignments the week that we are covering that module, and you can also complete them up to a week late. So all of these assignments have a due date, and then we keep them open for another week after that date. So for example, this module 2 discussion is due October 2nd, but we'll keep it open for you until October 9th. So you can complete that late and submit it anytime during that, that additional week without penalty. You don't need to get permission to do it. It's just open, it's there for you, and you can complete it. Once that assignment closes, so for example, this module 2 discussion would close on October 9th. After it closes, it can no longer be submitted for grading. So just keep that in mind. You have a 3-week window to complete all the assignments. You can complete it early, you can complete it the week of, and you can also complete it a week late. And that just gives you kind of a good chunk of time to complete these assignments. If you have something come up that is, like a extenuating circumstance, please email me at edgh@uw.edu, and I can work with you on that. But just for the most part, most people will just kind of go through the course and use that 3-week window to complete these assignments. Liz, do you think I answered those questions there? Or was there anything else you wanted me to address while we're talking about grading or the
I think you
assignment?
did. I
Okay,
think you did.
great.
Thank you.
And then just a note at the very bottom of this page, there is a running total of your grade. So this will just give you an idea of what your grade is at that moment in time. So if you've completed the first 3 assignments in the course, it'll tell you what your grade is for those first 3 assignments up to that point. If you then move forward and then miss an assignment or miss a few assignments, your grade's going to go down. So just note that that total is not set. It's not set until the very end of the course once all of the assignments have been completed and all the grades have been posted. So it gives you an idea where you stand in the course, but just know that your grade, if you do miss an assignment, will go down from there. And then I'll go back to the tab that we missed, which was the quizzes tab. And I mean, really, it's just have the quizzes listed out. Again, we have quizzes due for modules 1 through 10. And then we do have some practice quizzes throughout the course. They're labeled either a quiz or a case study, and they are not worth, they don't count towards your final grade, but they're great for practice and just kind of putting into practice the concepts that we've gone over that week. So we've got these practice quizzes and then these quizzes that are worth points towards your final grade. I am Missy and Liz, and Chris, can I turn it over to you for a moment to answer any questions that have come in?
Absolutely. And we have had a handful more questions come in about assignment windows and when to complete them and length, and just want to reiterate what Dewa said, which was that we give you a 3-week period or window to complete each module. So there is a bit of overlap. So if you want to get ahead on a particular week, we will not say no. So work with what is best for your schedule. With that said, if you know that you are going to be out of town or unavailable on a particular week, that still gives you an opportunity to either make up or complete in advance other course material. So just remember, each module has a 3-week window where you can submit materials. There was also a question about length of assignments. And so the final presentation is a slide-based assignment. So you will be pulling together potentially some slides. Instructions are listed in the assignments tab, and that will be available to you on day 1 of the course and throughout the course. The ILP, we have a Word template that you will download, and you will fill in questions. So, or you will respond to questions that we have listed. So there's a template that you will fill in, but more details around what's expected for completion of those will be available to you during the very first week. And another question just came in about completion of overall course. And so you will need a 70% to complete the entire course, and requirements to receive a certificate of completion.
Yeah, Liz, there's some questions that came in that I want to address. One person had a question that says, how can my grade go down? I understand it won't increase if I miss activities, but why will my grade go down? So I want to answer that question. The way that our grading works is, let's say you complete the first 3 assignments in the course and you get 100% on them. Your running total, where I showed you on this grades page, if you got the full points for the first 3 assignments in the course, this total is going to show that your grade is 100%. But then let's say for the 4th module, you miss a quiz. And so you miss the 3 points that that quiz was worth, then your grade is going to go down by that 3 points, if that makes sense. So because that total is a running total, it gives you your grade as if the course was going to end at that point. So if you continue to complete all the course assignments and do well on the quizzes, then your grade will remain pretty much the same. But if you miss assignments or if you miss points on assignments, then your grade will go down. I wouldn't worry too much about your grades in this course. I would say that as long as you complete the assignments and keep up with them, you're going to do well in the course. So don't worry too much about the points. Again, those written assignments are worth a large chunk of your final grade. They're worth 60%. So make sure you keep up on those. But yeah, I think you're going to do just fine in this course as long as you keep up with the assignment. There's another question about the submission period. Again, you can submit your assignments within a 3-week window. So you can submit them a week early. You can submit them the week that we cover the module, and then you can also submit them up to a week late. So there is a due date, and once that passes, your assignment will be marked late, but there's no penalty for submitting an assignment late. It'll just be marked late, and but it won't reduce the number of points that you get for the assignment. But again, you have that 3-week window to turn in the assignments.
And to jump in, Dewa, and help you with
Yeah.
some of the questions. Another question came in about duration, the shortest and longest time to complete the course. So again, each week we anticipate you will spend 6 to 8 hours of work, which entails all course content materials. So that could be assignments, readings, quiz questions, recorded lectures. With that said, shortest to longest time, it's really up to you and how much you want to get out of the course. So our estimate is 6 to 8 hours a week for each module, but it's really up to you to make the most out of what you want to get out of it.
There's a question here. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dewa.
It says there's a question here that says, will you run a tab on the completed assignments? I'm not sure that I understand that question. If you could type in a follow-up and just kind of explain your question a little more thoroughly, I'd be happy to answer it.
If you click on assignments, I think it's important to point out, and maybe this will help answer some of that. All types of assignments appear in the assignments tab. It includes discussions, quizzes, and the assignments that you'll submit, like your ILP and your final presentation. With that said, as you're completing assignments, they do not remove from these tabs. They still remain there. If you're looking to see, oh gosh, what did I complete versus what I didn't, your best option really is to look at the grade book to see if your grade is there. So there's not a separate tab that shows these are the assignments I completed. They will either appear in this assignments tab in its entirety, but also the ones that have been graded and you've completed, that will appear in the grades tab.
Yeah, and I would say it's a little confusing to kind of see this and go through this, and these questions may be a little confusing, but once you're added in the course, I think you'll understand a lot better, because you'll be able to see and go into the assignments and things like that. And I will be sending lots of email communication and instructions. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out and email me at EDGH. But we really wanted to just do this as an overview so you would know where to find things within the course. But I promise you'll have all your questions answered once you're in the course and you're going through the course material.
And on that note, if I could jump in really quickly, just to say when that happens, the course starts on the 19th of September, and you'll receive access to the course about 1 to 2 days before that date. So for you, that will be around the 16th or the 17th of September, just depending on where you're located and what your time zone is. And at that time, you'll get an invite to the course, and EDGH will follow up with an email that has directions for how you can log into Canvas to what you've seen today. And then, as Dave said, if you need additional login assistance, you can always let us know at edgh@uw.edu. So just wanted to give you that little bit of detail. We'll make sure to post this webinar within the course as well. It's being recorded, and we'll send it out to site coordinators and to independent participants within the week as well.
Just to also jump in, we have some more questions again about assignment structures, time frame for completing things. If you fail both quizzes, I wouldn't necessarily say that you fail a quiz on a second attempt. Again, there's no threshold of completion for each individual quiz. It's a culmination overall of your submissions. So just do your best. And as long as you're completing stuff and quizzes and you get, you know, on that second attempt, a few questions right, you're still getting points towards your final grade. And then there was also a question about assignment structure, writing format. So all of that will be listed in the ILP and final presentation structure. So when you get access to the course, you'll be able to open up these assignments, read what's expected of you, writing formats, how to cite if you're going to cite a source. Discussions, remember, are a bit more conversational. You don't need to write an academic paper to respond to discussions.
Yeah, and just one of the questions was about when access to the syllabus will be available, and you will be able to access the syllabus once you're added to the course, which is typically a few days before the course starts. So our course starts on September 19th. So typically you'll be added 3 or 4 days before that, 2 to 3 days before that.
And then we also had a question about, again, what is the ILP? It is the individual learning plan. And this individual learning plan is a series of questions that you will respond to, self-reflect on throughout the entirety of the course. And it's really just an opportunity for you to take the learnings for each module and hopefully apply it to your day-to-day work. So really just trying to encourage that knowledge transfer. And so there will be 3, as you can see on the screen right here, 3 times in which you are asked to submit your ILP, which is, again, your individual learning plan.
Liz, there's a couple questions I can take here. So one is about discussions, how grading, in terms of how discussions work, and then grading and discussions. So let me just talk about discussions real quick. So in terms of the discussions, you'll be asked a question and it's like a prompt. So there'll be a discussion forum within Canvas, so you can see them, you know, in this discussions page, or you can get to them from the module itself. So you'll be asked a question and you're going to type and post an answer. So the discussions are not live. You're just going to complete it, you know, whenever it's most convenient for you. And then you'll have a discussion group and you'll be able to see the responses from your peers in that discussion group as well. And we always encourage that, you know, you can respond to other people's discussion posts and kind of make it a little bit more of a dynamic conversation. But the discussions are done as posted written posts on the discussion forum. And then in terms of grading for those discussions, as long as you post on the discussion forum, you'll get points for the discussion. So yeah, as long as you complete it, you'll get the points for it. So hopefully that answers those 2 questions. There's also a question about how do we know that an assignment has been received? So if you submit your assignment on Canvas, it'll let you know that it's been submitted. And then again, grades are posted the day after the assignment is due. So you should get an email notification that your grade has been posted, and then you can check and see and make sure that, you know, your grade was posted. If you submitted your assignment and you didn't receive a grade, then the submission may not have gone through, or perhaps you submitted it in somewhere that you shouldn't have. And so if that's the case, then you can email me and we can get that worked out. Stephen has a question. What happens if you fail to complete the course within the stipulated time frame? So if you fail to complete the course, then you wouldn't earn the certificate at the end of the course. We just have a couple minutes left. Thank you all for joining us and being with us during this time. If you have any final questions in the last couple minutes, please type them in the Q&A pod. If we happen to not get to your question before the top of the hour, you can always email us at edgh@uw.edu, and we'd be happy to answer your questions there as well. As we wait for questions to come in, I just say that I think you guys will really enjoy this course. This is definitely one of the courses that a lot of our participants love and get a lot out of. So I'm excited to go through the course with you. Chris, there's a question. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Liz.
No, I was going to say the same thing. Chris, would you be willing to talk about any shortcomings or reasons why we encourage people to use the online learning experience on the internet and not the mobile device?
You can take the course on a mobile phone, but it's not going to be the as good of an experience as it would being taking it on a laptop. You know, you'll have to spend a lot of time swiping back and forth across a page because the whole page might not fit into the view on your phone. And you definitely don't want to use the Canvas app. We don't recommend that because it gives people a lot of problems. So you would definitely want to use the Chrome browser on a mobile device. I just think the experience is better if you can do it on a laptop. That's great. But if a mobile phone is all you've got, then you just have to make do.
There's a question here that
Thanks, Chris,
for that. There's a question here that says, it's the final certificate graded? So if you earn 70% or more in the course, and then also if you are part of a site group, you have to also meet the attendance requirement of 75% of the site meeting attendance, you will earn a certificate. There is no grade listed on the certificate. So as long as you earn a 70% and meet the attendance requirement, if you're part of a site, you'll get a certificate, and there's no grade on that. There's a question here that says, will independent participants be attached to group discussions? So that's a great question. Even if you are an independent participant, you will still be in a discussion group in Canvas. So everyone will be randomly assigned to a discussion group once you're added to the course, and that'll be who you'll be communicating with on those 5 discussion forums we have throughout the course. So you might be part of a site, you might be an independent participant, but you'll be randomly assigned to a discussion group in Canvas. And if you are part of a site, because it is random, you may not be with the people that are in your site group. There's a question here about the buttons at the bottom of my page. I'm currently in student view so that you can see what the course would look like on your end. So this kind of purple bar and the leave student view button that you see at the bottom, that's not going to appear for you. So apologies for the confusion on that.
And Dewa, there were a few questions earlier that we responded to privately, but some people had asked how you get to this point in the course. And if you could just highlight with your mouse the dashboard. So we'll send you guys instructions when you're going to be granted access to the course. And so we'll include instructions with your username, how to get logged in. But once you're logged in, you are automatically brought to your dashboard, and your dashboard will highlight the courses you are enrolled in. The reason why we don't show you our dashboard is because we tend to be enrolled in hundreds of courses at a time, so it might get a little overwhelming and confusing. But you'll see the course on your dashboard. It's a thumbnail. You'll click it, and then you will be brought to this course page. And we are at the hour. And so if you do have additional questions, please email us at edgh@uw.edu. And we will respond to your questions. And we're very much looking forward to seeing you all in the online learning environment, getting to know one another. And we wish you the best of luck with the course. So thank you all for taking time out of your busy days. Once we have the recording produced and loaded, we will send you all an email with instructions on how to revisit this recording today or to share it with others who maybe were not able to attend today. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.